Welcome to class. In today's class, we're going to be solving this question on trigonometry, and the question is given that sine theta equals 1 over root 2, evaluate tan theta. Okay, and do not also forget we're going to be applying this on a right angled triangle. Okay, now before we go further, we need to remind ourselves of Sohcahtoa, the acronym So, Ka, and Toa. Now, this is a major acronym when it comes to trigonometry because we have all the trig ratios here. We have the sine, we have the cosine, we have the tangent. Are you following? Fantastic. The SS stands for what? Sine. Okay. The C here stands for what? Cosine, which we also call cos. Okay, in abbreviated form. And the TS stands for what? Tangent. We can also call tan in abbreviated form. Fantastic. So each of these letters stands for something. Okay, so that means sine here equals what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. Then CS cos equals to what? Adjacent over what? Hypotenuse. And the TS stands for what? Tan equals what? Opposite over what? Adjacent. Are you following? Good. Now, so if that be the case, now let's look at what we're given in the question. We're given what? Sine theta equals what? 1 over root 2. Are you still following? So what does the 1 stand for and what does the root 2 stand for? So from what we have here, we have that sine S equals what? Opposite. That means the 1 here is opposite. We're going to follow it according to the way it has been arranged. Okay, the H here is what? Hypotenuse. So that means root 2 is what? Hypotenuse. So I'm going to come to my right angle triangle. Okay, and I'll fix these two values there. So let me take this to be my opposite side, and obviously this slant side will be my what? Hypotenuse, and this other side will be what? My adjacent. Alright, so opposite is 1, so I'm going to put 1 here. Are you following? Good. Then my hypotenuse is what? Root 2. Root 2. Alright, now the other part of the question says evaluate tan theta. So we need to know what tan theta stands for according to the acronym. The acronym here says that tan theta equals what? Opposite, which is the O, over what? The adjacent. So now if that be the case, that means we have the value of the opposite here. Our value of the opposite there is 1. So that means we have tan theta equals 1 opposite over what? Adjacent side. We do not know what the adjacent side is yet, so we can call it what? X. So how do we find the value of the adjacent side? Very simple. We're going to record now the Pythagorean what? Theorem. So we're going to be using the Pythagorean theorem to get the value of X. Are you still following? Good. And what does Pythagorean theorem state? It says that the square of the hypotenuse side is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides, which are the opposite and the adjacent side. So if that be the case, so this is what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is this. Let's say x squared, which is adjacent side, equals to what? Root 2 squared minus 1 squared. So I'm going to be taking away what? The square of the adjacent side from the square of the what? Hypotenuse side. Are you following? Good. So I'll move further. X squared equals, now at this point here, do not give yourself too much work by saying root 2 times root 2, which end up giving you root 4. And what is square root of 4? That will give you 2, right? That is a bit long. Rather, whenever you are squaring a root, whenever you are squaring a number that has a root, just use the square to cancel what? The root. And that gives you back the number. Only the number. Are you following? So that will be 2 minus, obviously, 1 squared is 1 times 1 will still give us what? 1. So I have x squared. 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is what? 1. And I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Are you still following? Good. So when I take the square root of both sides, the square cancels this root, just like I said, and I have x equals 1. So I can boldly say that my adjacent side is what? 1. So now let me go back to what I have in the question. Tan theta. I'm going to come back here and fix what the value of adjacent side is. That adjacent side is what? 1. So I can come here now and say tan theta equals 1. Okay, tan theta opposite 1. What about my adjacent side? 1. So 1 divided by 1 is what? 1. So I can boldly say my tan theta equals what? 1 over 1. And that is what? 1. And that is it. Very simple. I'm sure you've learned something in this class, and I can't wait to see you in my next class. And until then, bye.